upcycling it, not necessarily recycling it. So keep the things that are there and just upgrade. When I think of upcycle, I think of upgrade. So I'm going to bend it, but not on this line here, like here. Here, I will bend it like here, away from the staples. So it will be like this. Yeah. This will be, you see now. This up. Line this up. Here, I'm lining these edges up. Because this is one box that I cut almost in half, yeah, pretty much in half. And so this to be like this. And now I need to put weight on it. And I want even. So I want this folded up because this will be the front here. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that's how I want it. Like this. So I'm just gonna get some weights, which are gonna be my ropes that I've used, and I'm gonna weigh it down. And then use my body weight too, because this is real low tech here. Show you. This is what I'm using underneath. So the part under here what will be facing outside underneath. And I'm going to use this as a coating mixed with turpentine, 5 to 10% of turpentine, because I checked the instructions on this and they said you can mix this with 5 to 10% of turpentine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it a little bit the first time, put a 5 to 10% mixture of turpentine with this underneath, let it dry, sand it again, and then put an undiluted coat of this on there. And then I'm going to cover it with these. I will show you. And then on the second coat, when it's still a bit tacky, once it gets tacky, I'm going to adhere this because this material is very much waterproof. And there's a way that you can use this without throwing it into the environment. Form the walls, and you will begin to see the picture that's in my head. So the reason why I got these is because I kept trying to find ways to build the walls, but this material I felt wasn't sturdy enough. But I'm also on a budget, so I was like, what can I do to incorporate staying on budget, sturdiness, but it also has to be lightweight. And I love design, so I want it to be visually pleasing, yeah? So what I did was I got these, and it's, as you can see, it's the same material. It's the same material as this, which is on this right here. It's in the back. You can see here. Okay? What they've done is they've attached it to these. So now I have something a bit sturdier. These wooden planks, but it's still lightweight. You know, it's still lightweight enough. And so now you have durability, lightweight, feature, sturdy, stays on budget. This here And I'll go through everything. Obviously, the cardboard boxes were free because they came with the package. So that's another thing that I'm going to make a separate video on is thoughtful and mindful shopping. Like when you go to buy something, you say, how much of what I'm buying is going to go into trash, and how much of what I'm buying is going to go, can I recycle, can I upcycle, can I upgrade it, and then how much am I just going to like throw into the abyss, you know? So when I ordered these, I figured with their dimensions, because this is 60 centimeters by 90 centimeters, they'd have to give me a bigger box. So you'll see what I'm going to do with the bigger box they gave me, which is sitting there behind me. But first, I want to show you what I'm going to do with these. So there are two of them. And they're not going to stay this color. This can of paint that I have here, I'm going to use it for everything. And this is a black. It's black. I like black. So, but it won't just be black. I'm going to explain that later. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to be painted. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. One will go here. And one will go here. And now you can see the structure for me, okay? And then in the middle of this, up there, because where I'm standing will be the middle, and now I can explain to you what I'm going to do with the cardboard box that these two came in. I'm going to use that to extend the length of this, because it's about the same width as this. So whatever the length is, then that'll be extended by that number. And then to get an even further extension, I have another idea for recycling that I'm going to do. So these are, and they come already stapled, so I didn't have to buy the staple gun. That's what I mean about conscious shopping. You look for things, because if I wanted to do this myself, I would have had to buy the staple gun, which would have been extra expense. But you look for things that are already stapled. As with the cardboard box already had staples in it. So I just used the staples that were already there, and I didn't tear them out, and I just used them to provide durability and sturdiness for my structure. That's what I mean. And some people might think it's a bit difficult, and it may be, and it may be challenging in the beginning. But when you begin to always think like this, then it becomes much easier. Okay, so these two will be here. And if I can balance this, I will put this down. And then this, I hand sewed this. But this here, I will just put both of them down because I don't want to cause an accident. This here will be in the middle, like this. You see it fits perfectly. And then these two will be, it's going to be a bit difficult for me to balance it because I only have two hands. Like this. Like this. And then this will be in the middle up. And then when I'm parked or resting, I can take the part that's sticking out, the handle, tie a rope to it, and then that will also provide like a stabilizer. It's a stabilizer. And it's also a window. Okay? So that's what I mean about thinking creatively, but also thinking when I go to buy these bottles, I don't arbitrarily buy water. I always think, what can I do with the bottles after I finish? I have a garden. It's small, but I use bottles to grow my herbs and my vegetables. I use the plastic bottles because for me, I've always felt that you should care about where you live. And I live on Earth. And so it's quite that. So I'm going to stop the video here because this needs to dry. It's going to take time. I'm hungry and I need to cook something. I'm cooking spaghetti. So I also do cooking videos. But I will be doing more cooking videos, not at this moment because as you can see, I have a lot of work to do with this. So that's where my main focus is. But if you have any questions and if you want to know prices and budgets, like these, I can quickly tell you, these were about 10, they will be the equivalent of $10 US. They were like 20 cents less than $10 US each one. The cardboard boxes, they are free. The rope, because it's two different kinds of rope. One is poly hemp, so it's a synthetic hemp. One is ute. The ute, I believe, was cheaper. And I have one spindle of that and two spindles of the poly hemp. The plastic bottles, kind of sort of were free because I was going to drink the water anyway, and I am recycling. The canvas is a bit expensive for my budget because I watch everything I purchase. So the canvas 1.6 meter by 1 meter was about $10 US. So right now that's what we're working with. I also have U-boats, very tiny U-boats. And I'm going to make a separate video on like the technical side of the build because it's in this video it would just be going on forever and ever. But I'll go into like more of the mechanics of it and tell you. And it's been a learning experience for me because I never considered myself a mechanic or a person that was very technical. But because I have really bad anxiety, I'm a very detailed person. And so that side of me, the positive part of that is that I am an extremely detailed person. And so I'm able to see things both in a bigger picture and in very detailed perspectives. And so I will go detail by detail and show you the tools and the bits and pieces that I'm using to further attach this. I showed you the glue, but I have other parts because what I'm trying to do is show you how you can build these things with like little to no tools, and the material that you use can be a very low budget or free, like these things. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do, and I will show you what I mean about being free, upcycling, and conscious shopping. Now, when I went to purchase these, I love this, and I've always used this for my cooking, okay? I've always used this for my cooking. But then I began to see, when we throw these away, I checked, and these are not really biodegradable, to my knowledge. If they are, you can let me know. So what I try to do is, if I have to purchase something that isn't necessarily biodegradable, or that is going to take a long time to degrade back into the earth, then those are the things that I focus on reusing the most, because then I know that they won't be out in the environment causing a mess. So if you can imagine what I showed you, the walls here, how I'm going to support them is with these. So I'm going to take these and attach these. I have quite a few of them there. And every time I go shopping, I say, if it's something that I prefer fresh food, yes. But if it's something I can buy in these, like this, I can get fresh, okay? So I buy it here. And then I'm going to stack these and be like I told you about using little to no tools. What I'm going to do to attach them is I'm going to use a combination of this. Well, I will show you this, or these, and this. Because when I'm inside, I can just use this and maybe attach it at the top. It's still in the process of me thinking about it. But what I'm going to do is, you see, I will take, because there are 20 of these in here. They're small. I will take one of these, attach it to this. And then I will take another one and attach it. Let me get so you can see. Then I will take another one, attach it here, and now it will stick. No screws, no holes put in. And then if you want to reuse this, you can also reuse this. Because the point is not to just use it to reuse it once. The point and the goal is to reuse it as many times as you can, because it isn't that degradable. Now this is, because this is natural, but this is not. So we want to try to reuse this as much as we can. And because this is metal, it has a tendency to corrode or rust. So does natural materials, but you know what I mean. So the way you prevent it is to keep it as whole as possible. When you have metal, you don't want to put so many holes in it, because then it begins to corrode. Now, I have metal primer, which I will be priming everything with, and then I will follow up with coats of paint. But, you know, prevention is the best way. You know, if you want to fix a problem afterwards, you can do it. But if you prevent the problem from ever occurring, then maybe you save yourself stress and others. So that's where I'm going to end the video for today. I just wanted to get it out there and give you guys an idea of how my mind works and how I think when I go through life, and specifically for this project. I have other projects that I will be doing, and you know, with the idea to help others hopefully build these things, because a lot of these things you can find in the trash. Now, I personally didn't find mine in the trash because I have anxiety really bad and I don't want to like dig in the trash, okay? But when it's my personal trash. When I go shopping after I finish using it, I've been saving these things since the springtime. So I save these things, I wash them, and they're my own trash, you know. But if you have no money, or you have little money, you know, and you need to dig in someone else's trash, or you go to the landfill, which I do not suggest, but I know that people do that. So I'm just keeping it real, and I know what people's realities are. If you go to the landfill or if you go through the garbage, look for these things. Look for the things that like are sturdy but lightweight, okay? And if you get metal, just remember that if water hits it and if it's cut, then it has a tendency to corrode and be exposed. So you need to keep that in mind. Of course, if you only choose these, then if it gets wet, it has a tendency to mold. So always know what your pros and cons are. That's with anything in life. Know what your pros and cons are, and then you move accordingly. So I hope you learned something from this. And please, if you have any questions, slides really, if you have any questions, you can leave them below, or, you know, wait till I go live. You ask them. If you don't feel like leaving your name or whatever, that's fine. But that's it. And also, me posting these videos is helping me because I tend to sometimes procrastinate. Not as much as I used to do when I was younger, but also I get very depressed, as I've already talked about in past videos. So when I get up and I make these videos, it motivates me, and it, you know, helps me, and it brings me out of the depths, you know. So that's what I want to say. I'm going to end it here because I don't want to keep talking right now. My throat's hurting. And that's it. So yeah, and I will just show you quickly how I'm going to use this, just so you can get the visual, because some people need to see things. So this will extend here this way, because it's yeah, okay, it will extend here. I will fold up the edges just like these edges are folded up, and then I will attach the folded edges, and that's going to make it more sturdy also. And then You see this is already taped. I don't know if you can see it from there. I won't remove that tape because if I remove this, it's just going to go into the trash and this stuff doesn't degrade as well. So I will keep this here and then I will just go from the other side, yeah, and I will glue in there and attach it here, and I won't trash this. I will show you how you have it there. I won't, because if that goes into the landfill, it's not really helping. So that's all I have to say. I hope you guys have a good day. And, you know, start small. If you can recycle, upcycle something, maybe you don't have enough money that for something that you want to get someone, but you have a brain, you have hands, yeah? You can take something, upcycle it, and give that as a present. Christmas is coming up, and for a lot of people, this is a time when they feel the most shitty about themselves because they don't have enough money to buy things for other people. Okay, but you can do things for other people. You don't necessarily have to buy something. So that's all I want to say. And like I said, any questions, just drop them below. Okay? Ciao for now. Bye.